अस्सलाम वालेकुम। वो लेक्चर जो है वो पॉज हो गया था। नाउ कॉम्प्लिकेशंस ऑफ हाइपरटेंशन वी हैव स्टडीड दैट मायोकार्डियल इंफार्क्शन, स्ट्रोक, cerebral infarction, cerebral hemorrhages, and there are encephalopathy, malignant hypertension. These are the complications which are associated with the hypertension. If we want to know about the causes of the hypertension, 90 to 95% is the essential hypertension, and secondary causes are mainly related to the renal diseases or endocrine disorders. Endocrine disorders are mainly responsible for the increased concentration of the catecholamines due to any type of reason. Either it may be the use of the steroid axis, or there may be hyperaldosteronism, in which there is increased concentration of the sympathetic adrenaline and non-adrenaline. There may be hyperglucocorticoidism. There may be increased growth hormone axis. There may be any other condition of the eclampsia due to pregnancy. There may be also a vascular cause, that may be a renal artery stenosis, which is the narrowing of the renal artery. There may be a fibromuscular hyperplasia, increased number of cells of the renal cells, and then there may be renal artery arteroma, a condition there in which there is building up of the material in the arteries of the kidney. There may be a secondary cause which are associated with the use of certain types of drugs like sympathomimetics, like nicotine, like estrogen, like cyclosporin, erythropoietin, and the steroids. These are basically responsible for the increased concentration of sympathetic nervous system, and the sympathetic nervous system जब activate हो जाएगा तो then it will lead to the increased blood pressure. Clinical presentation is simple, and it is mostly associated with severe headache, visual disturbance, and evidence of a target organ damage. If the blood pressure is continuously elevated, it may lead to the malignant hypertension, which is the elevation of the blood pressure more than 220 systolic blood pressure and more than 120 millimeter of Hg diastolic blood pressure, and it is a very dangerous condition characterized by the confusion, headache, visual loss, seizure, and coma. And there is the degeneration of the neuron as well at this condition, and this is an emergency condition, require immediate and rapid control of the blood pressure. How it is diagnosed? Usually it is recommended that all adults should monitor their blood pressure after every 5 years. It is mandatory to check their blood pressure, and it should be in a normal condition. And both arms should be used with the proper utilization of the cuff size of the sphygmomanometer, and by listening the Korsakoff sound we can measure the blood pressure, and I have uploaded the video for the measurement of the blood pressure as well. How blood pressure is regulated? Basically, the mean blood pressure is the product of the cardiac output and the total peripheral resistance, and if any one of the factor is increased, then it will lead to the increment of the blood pressure. Mainly homeostatic reflexes are there, and minute to minute changes in blood pressure is regulated by the baroreceptors, and renin-angiotensin aldosterone system is also important for the long term management of the salt and water and blood pressure management. ठीक है, ये दो सिस्टम जो है वो हमारे पास बेसिक रेस्पॉन्सिबल है फॉर द मैनेजमेंट ऑफ द ब्लड प्रेशर. Other substances are also there, which are atrial natriuretic peptide, bradykinin, antidiuretic hormone ADH. They are also helpful for the management of physiological regulation of the blood pressure. Secondary causes of the hypertension should be carefully monitored, and the patient should be carefully evaluated for the symptoms of the hematuria, polyuria, and laboratory analysis should be properly done for the full blood count, electrolytes, urea creatinine and urine analysis. ये सारे टेस्ट जो है वो जब भी आप केस स्टडी डील करेंगे ब्लड प्रेशर की, हाइपरटेंशन की, तो these laboratory findings should be there in a case file. And susceptibility is that the renin-angiotensin system is basically not working, or maybe there is a metanephrine condition, and there may be a urine catecholamines may detect, which may helpful for the diagnosis for the pheochromocytoma. Pheochromocytoma में urine में अगर हमारे पास catecholamine है तो it is the indicative of the pheochromocytoma. Furthermore, potassium level अगर low है, if the potassium level is low, it is and high blood pressure is high, it is the indicative of the hyperaldosteronism, and it should be remembered that renin levels are suppressed by the beta blockers. यानी अगर बीटा ब्लॉकर यूज कर रहे हैं तो उसकी रेनिन के लेवल्स जो है वो सप्रेस हो जाएंगे, एंड एल्डोस्टेरॉन के लेवल जो है वो सप्रेस हो जाएंगे बाय एस इनहिबिटर थेरेपी. अगर ऑलरेडी थेरेपी चल रही है तो फिर ये लेवल सप्रेस होंगे. If the origin of the second hypertension is of the endocrine basis पे अगर है, जैसे फॉर एग्जांपल कॉर्न डिजीज है या फिर क्रोमोसाइटोमा है, तो there may be a primary hyperaldosteronism, and this is usually caused by the benign adenoma. ट्यूमर है एड्रीनल ग्लैंड का, और विच एसोसिएटेड विद द हाइपरप्लेजिया ऑफ द एड्रीनल ग्लैंड, जो कि सीटी स्कैन और एमआरआई में डिटरमिन हो जाता है यूजली. एंड दीज ट्यूमर शुड बी सर्जिकली रिमूव्ड टू डिक्रीज द ब्लड प्रेशर, और अदरवाइज जो है वो उसकी कंसेंट्रेशन जो है वो हाई रहेगी. एंड this type of tumor is basically aldosterone antagonist, that is spironolactone को respond करेगा. ठीक है, तो ये इस केस की जो थेरेपी है वो इसमें एग्जैक्ट कॉज का डिटरमिन होना जरूरी है कि ब्लड प्रेशर क्यों हो रहा है. We have discussed the contributing factors like obesity, exercise, alcohol, nicotine, and there may be evidence of an organ damage. Retina may be damaged, there may be heart damage, there may be brain damage. Treatment should be initiated by the non-pharmacological management, especially if the blood pressure is stage 1, जो कि हमने डिस्कस किया था, 140 to 150 तक होगा. अगर उससे अगर बढ़ता चला जाएगा स्टेज 2 पे होगा तो फिर हमारा जो है वो ट्रीटमेंट अप्रोचेस जो है वो स्टार्ट होगा. एंड द टारगेट ब्लड प्रेशर इज द ऑप्टिमल ट्रीटमेंट, जो है वो कहता है कि इसका जो हमारा ब्लड प्रेशर है वो बिल्कुल 140/85 से हमें लो रखना है. दिस इज द समरी ऑफ द ब्लड प्रेशर. एंड इसमें अगर हम देखें, इफ द मैलिग्नेंट हाइपरटेंशन इज देयर, देन इट नीड्स द हॉस्पिटल एडमिशन ऑफ द पेशेंट एंड carefully monitoring of the blood pressure within a given specified time to time. इसमें ऑटोमेटिक जो मॉनिटर्स लगे होते हैं आईसीयू में, उन पे जो उसका ब्लड प्रेशर है वो कंटिन्यूअस आ रहा होता है, एंड आईवी थेरेपी वाज कंटिन्यू टू डिक्रीज द ब्लड प्रेशर. एंड मैलिग्नेंट हाइपरटेंशन से हम स्टार्ट करें 120 to 119 विच इज बेसिकली टाइप 3. एंड इसमें हमारा जो ब्लड प्रेशर है वो आहिस्ता आहिस्ता करके जो है वो, अगर हम देखें बिल्कुल लोवेस्ट से देखें तो 135 से अगर लेस है तो इट शुड बी रीअसेस इन 5 years. अगर इफ ब्लड प्रेशर इज 135 to 139, इट शुड रीअसेस एनुअली. हाउएवर अगर वो बॉर्डर लाइन में आ चुका है, ब्लड हाइपरटेंशन की कैटेगरी में आ चुका है, तो इट शुड बी रिपीट ओवर सेवरल वीक्स. बार बार ब्लड प्रेशर को चेक किया जाए, एंड देन ट्रीट फार्माकोलॉजिकली एंड नॉन फार्माकोलॉजिकली टू प्रिवेंट दी एंड ऑर्गन कॉम्प्लिकेशंस. इसके बाद स्टेज हमारा जो है वो बढ़ता जा रहा है, स्टेज 2, स्टेज 3 एंड देन मैलिग्नेंट हाइपरटेंशन. Then in case of diabetes, the blood pressure limits will be changed. If there is no diabetes, the range is low, is higher as compared to diabetes. The limit should be more narrow. तो ऑप्टिमल जो है वो स्टैंडर्ड ये है कि 130/80 से हम लो कर दें. ठीक है, मैं आई वांट टू गो अप टू द ट्रीटमेंट अप्रोचेस, जो कि हम यहाँ देख रहे हैं. ये एक चार्ट है. This is the algorithm of the drug sequencing in the hypertension, and according to this, A is in 55 and non-black people, A is now a first choice, which is the ACE inhibitor, and C is the calcium channel blocker, and D is the diuretic. And diuretic, among them, diuretic is basically the diuretic or an spironolactone. Basically, these are the choices. And for black, the initial choice is the calcium channel blocker or diuretic, and now the diuretic or ACE inhibitor. अगर प्रेशर अगर कंट्रोल नहीं होगा then it will go up to A plus C or D. You have to go through the complete chapter. पूरा चैप्टर आपने पढ़ना है और जो मेन पॉइंट्स है आप उसको हाईलाइट कर लें. So the example of diuretics, you have to take out their drugs, their frequency, their dosage, or you have to tell me along with the brand names available, कौन कौन सी फॉर्म में ये डिस्पेंस होते हैं, कौन कौन सी उसमें थेरेपी में दिए जाते हैं, आईवी अवेलेबल है, ओरल फॉर्म अवेलेबल है, सब आपने चेक करना है विद पाकिस्तान फार्माकोपीडिया. मेजर एडवर्स इफेक्ट जो है वो हाइपोकैलीमिया है डायबिटिक्स का. Another problem associated with the thyroid diuretic is the production or gout associated impairment of the urate excretion. Excretion of uric acid जो है वो impair हो जाएगी due to the use of the thyroid diuretics. There may be erectile dysfunction and there may be अगर बीटा ब्लॉकर्स की बात करें तो they may cause the diabetic tendency depending upon the type of the diabetes the person suffering from. Loop diuretics तो अब जो है वो प्रैक्टिस में नहीं है because they have no effective control over the hypertension. Spironolactones are basically reserved for the resistive type of the hypertension, especially associated with the hyperaldosteronism, and they are basically a potassium sparing diuretic. Most important are the ACE inhibitors, but they are responsible for the production of cough due to the increased concentration of the bradykinin. Bradykinin की concentration जो है वो increase करते हैं, and they inhibit the kinase production, thus prevent the breakdown of the bradykinin. But alternatives are the ARBs, which is the angiotensin receptor blockers, and they are the appropriate alternatives for those patients who are intolerant to the ACE inhibitors. Calcium channel blockers, among them we have dihydropyridine group, which exclusively work on the L-type calcium channel in the peripheral arterioles and reduce BP by reducing the total peripheral vascular resistance. Thiol-dopa is basically reserved for those patients which are in which the woman is pregnant, and basically ACE inhibitor is contraindicated in the condition of pregnancy. However, it has the side effects of the dry mouth, headache, fatigue due to the central nervous effect of the blocking of the sympathetic nervous system. Several other antihypertensive drugs are available, for example minoxidil. However, they are associated with the severe type of side effects like edema, like reflux tachycardia, so they are not reserved for the first choice. Furthermore, it also be able for the production of hirsutism and hair growth on the face of the woman. Hydroxyzine is also reserved for the digestive hypertensive condition because it is not well tolerated due to its profound vasodilatory effect. बहुत ही इससे एकदम ज्यादा जो है वो ब्लड जो है वो ब्लड प्रेशर रिड्यूस हो जाता है बहुत ज्यादा, and there is an allergic reaction of the systemic lupus erythematosus. If we talk about the alpha adrenoceptor blocker, we have the prazosin, which was initially used. However, doxorubicin and terazosin has a longer duration of action. Mainly, they are reserved for the add-in therapy for the patient in which there is an inadequately control of the hypertension by using other agents. These alpha blockers are associated with the heart failure and stroke. प्रॉब्लम ये है कि हार्ट को सप्रेस करेंगे, इसलिए जो है वो हार्ट फेलियर एंड स्ट्रोक हो सकता है. How the physician select the drug, and the drug should be chosen on the basis of their efficacy, safety, and the convenience to the patient and the cost. इन चार चीजों को कंसीडर करते हुए जो है वो जो है ड्रग को सेलेक्ट किया जाता है, and patient should feel well during the treatment. and they did before during the treatment as it was instituted in the hospital or any other thing. Another important thing is that once daily dosing is very helpful for the patient adherence. Whatever treatment choices was previously mentioned, it is basically evident from the clinical trial. Clinical trial के basis पे जो है वो ये evolve हुआ है, and it is primarily evolved that thyroid diuretics and ACE inhibitors are mainly responsible for the good management of the blood pressure from as compared to beta blocker and the calcium channel blocker. This is the summary of antihypertensive drug and with the common therapeutic problems. For example, diuretics की अगर हम बात करें, example is the bendroflumethalide, and if we talk about loop diuretic, there will be the furosemide, and if it is potassium sparing diuretic, it is the spironolactone. Major problem is the hypokalemia and the gout, and glucose intolerance, hyperlipidemia, impotence and uremia, excretion of the uric acid, dehydration, and if we talk about the spironolactones, there is the hyperkalemia and gynecomastia. And if we talk about the comments, it is very cheap, easily available, and it is basically meant for the long-term management of the older patient. Older patient के लिए ज़्यादा ये जो है prefer है thyroid diuretics. और loop diuretics जो है basically they are reserved for the resistant hypertension and for the patient having the cardiac failure, and in cardiac failure there is a pulmonary edema, उसको cope up करने के लिए we use loop diuretic. Then we have beta blocker, cardioselective beta blocker, atenolol, which is cheap, and then we have propranolol, non-cardioselective, then metoprolol, again cardioselective, and then other choices are also there. The problem is that they have the bradycardia and reduced exercise tolerance. However, they are cheap. Labetalol and caliprolol are basically for the patient of the ischemic heart disease. Then we have calcium channel blocker, but they are not well tolerated because इसमें जो fluctuation है blood pressure में वो बहुत ज़्यादा होती है. And we have the similar effects. Amlodipine की अगर हम बात करें तो there may be a postural hypertension, and the effects are similar with that of the thiazides. We have calcium channel antagonists, which are the chemically dihydropyridine, and we have the calcium antagonists, which are basically act on the heart, and they are verapamil and diltiazem, and they are इसमें हमें कॉशन क्या है कि बीटा ब्लॉकर के साथ हम यूज ना करें, वरना पे कार्डियो सप्रेसिव इफेक्ट बहुत ज्यादा प्रोड्यूस होंगे. एस इनहिबिटर्स का मेजर मसला है कफ एंड एंजियोएडिमा and renal failure and allergy, which is a rash type जो है वो स्किन पे हो सकती है, and they are very expensive. Patient compliance यहाँ पे इसलिए का है कि patient जो है वो थेरेपी को कंटिन्यू करने में प्रॉब्लम करेगा, and they are mainly reserved for the younger patient and those with the cardiac failure or diabetes. Then we have the alpha blocker, prazosin, doxycycline, and the problem with the alpha blocker is that they are responsible for the edema. Alpha blocker है पेरिफेरी जो है वो डायलेट है, जब डायलेट है तो हाथ पांव में आपको एडिमा नजर आएगा पेशेंट के, एंड पोस्चुरल हाइपोटेंशन है, और जब स्वेलिंग होगी तो पेशेंट परेशान होगा कि ये स्वेलिंग क्यों हो रही है, तो इसके वजह से पेशेंट एडहेरेंस कम है इसकी, एंड देयर इज नो डाटा ऑफ लॉन्ग टर्म एफिकेसी. सो ये भी चॉइसेस में हमारे पास नहीं आती है, एड इन थेरेपी के लिए रिजर्व है. देन वी हैव द एंजियोटेंसिन रिसेप्टर ब्लॉकर, among them they are the losartan, valsartan and irbesartan, but problem is renal failure. Chronic renal failure है, chronic kidney disease में ये prefer करते हैं, अलग चॉइस है, लेकिन nephrotoxic है, and they are also causing edema because they have a vasodilatory property as well. Again, they are more expensive, newer drugs हैं, महंगी भी हैं. Then we have certain centrally acting vasodilators like methyl dopa and moxonidine. They are responsible for the tiredness and depression because ये जब कैचिकोलामाइन की कंसंट्रेशन सेंट्रली कम करेंगी तो डिप्रेशन होगा. सीएनएस में हमारे पास कम हो गया, न्यूरोट्रांसमीटर्स नॉन एड्रेनलिन कम हो गई है, तो फिर इट विल लीड टू दी डिप्रेशन. Poorly tolerated and they are only reserved for the hypertension of the pregnancy. Direct acting vasodilators, they are also poorly tolerated and they all only reserved for the severe hypertension. अब हम कुछ केस स्टडीज करेंगे ताकि हमें जो है वो अंडरस्टैंडिंग हो जाए। These are certain conditions in box number 19.3 in which they are drug of choices. For example, thyroid diuretics जो है basically कब favor होता है for the particular type of the anti-hypertensive agent, and ACE inhibitor, beta blockers, calcium channel, calcium loop diuretics and aldosterone antagonists, ये हम डिस्कस कर चुके हैं। Now the conditions जिसमें हम देखेंगे वन बाय वन कंडीशन जो है वो हमने डिस्कस कर ली है उसमें प्रीवियस केस स्टडी में, प्रीवियस लेक्चर में। नाउ कम टू दी केस स्टडीज। यहाँ पे हम एक काम करते हैं कि टेबल 19.4 शो द यूज ऑफ एंटी हाइपरटेंसिव ड्रग्स एडेप्टेड फॉर दी सोसाइटी अकॉर्डिंग टू दीज गाइडलाइंस। डायबिटिक्स आर मेनली इंडिकेटेड फॉर द एल्डरली पेशेंट एंड for the ischemic heart disease and for the secondary prevention of the stroke. However, if the person is suffering from gout, it is contraindicated. These are the contraindications. Beta blockers are contraindicated in the asthma, in heart failure, in dyslipidemia, in peripheral vascular disease, in diabetes. Calcium channel antagonists, they are only reserved for the elderly, isolated systolic hypotension. Otherwise, they are now not indicated. And while calcium channel antagonists are reserved for the hypertension associated with the along with the angina in combination with the beta blocker. They are associated with they are contraindicated with the combination with beta blocker. यानी calcium channel antagonist जो है वो beta blocker के साथ नहीं दिए जाते। Then we have ACE inhibitors. जो कि इंडिकेटिव है हार्ट फेलियर में। एंड देन वी हैव अल्फा ब्लॉकर बिनाइन प्रोस्टेट हाइपरट्रॉफी में, ये बेसिकली इंडिकेटेड है। एंजियोटेंसिन रिसेप्टर ब्लॉकर जो है वो ऑल्टरनेटिव है एस इनहिबिटर्स का। एंड सेंट्रली एक्टिंग वेजोडाइलेटर्स दे आर रिजर्व फॉर दी प्रेगनेंसी टाइप हाइपरटेंशन। दूसरे लेक्चर में हम डिस्कस करेंगे केस स्टडीज जो कि इस चैप्टर में हमें बताई गई है। थैंक यू।